think I'm still learning about God's faithfulness, and when I think of God's faithfulness, I think of walking by faith, and I think of the moment-by-moment decisions. And I remember I used to have anger problems when I was younger, and I used to be scared that I could blow up at any moment. But I really think that giving up to God and just knowing how good He is and how He has my needs and my wants, just following Him every moment, I can kind of just follow a sense of peace and just know that I don't have to be scared of that anymore.
When I think of God's faithfulness, I think of my parents as an example of God's faithfulness. They've been married for 40 years, and they have given me and my sister life, but also just have been such an amazing example of what a marriage is and how God implements His purpose through your marriage and what a good marriage looks like. And so for me and my sister, I know, and our family, I know that it's been a huge testimony to them and us that God would be faithful through their marriage and also through their kids.
When I think of God's faithfulness, I think of His care, His leading your life, even when you don't know what He's doing. Sometimes it seems as though things aren't going the way you want them to, but everything is still in the providence of God. I remember when I first graduated, I spent 3 months trying to find a job and I couldn't find one. But in the providence of God, He was preparing something for me over here in California, where I moved to the other side of the continent, and here I am in seminary, in school, with a family, all part of God's plan.
When I think of God's faithfulness, I'm reminded of Psalm 23, where it says that God's loyal love follows us all the days of our life. And I remember Dr. Ekman, our Hebrew teacher, translating that loyal love as pursuing, as harassing you. And I specifically remember a time in my life, the beginning of seminary, where I wasn't experiencing God. I wasn't feeling His presence there with me. And no matter what I did, it just felt dark. And it was really odd. I remember this time specifically being in my room, and out of the middle of nowhere, wasn't thinking about God, anything spiritual or anything. All of a sudden I felt a peace. And I knew instantly there was the Holy Spirit. And that just reminds me of the faithfulness. And I remember thinking, wow, God has been with me this entire time. Whether I feel Him or not, He is faithful to me.
When I think of the faithfulness of God, I think about how He's faithful not only to us, but to our families as well. I have a sister that's been fighting cancer for the last 5 years, and we had pretty much given up hope. But God is faithful to our prayers, and He brought a clinical trial into her life, and we're rejoicing that she's had another few years to be with us.